The Showmaker can do that, because Dplus Kia have once again set themselves up with a really nice draft, this time angling more towards that 1-3-1 or the 1-4 that they can play out in the later stages. And for a team like Dplus Kia with so much experience, you'd have to imagine that they'd be able to play it out.
I'm mostly concerned about Nongshim's buy pick here because it doesn't have a lot of power in this game. I think with the side laning Fiora, it's really easy to just riposte and get away there. So the Azir is going to struggle potentially in side lanes here big time. The Sylas is going to build Rod of Ages and get ahead, and so Showmaker
voices against the cacophony that Dplus Kia did put forward. Of course, a lot of fans here for this squad, especially now that Deft has joined the team. He's a man that has had just a pretty ridiculous amount of fandom. Of course, a lot of fans coming over even to watch Deft after he got a lot of notoriety in EDG over in the LPL, myself included.
Is the titles he picked up and the way he did it so cleanly, but people will always remember Deft because of the storyline more than anything else. He's been around for so long, right? And some of the players that have faded away and retired players who joined and left during the time Deft has been a player just makes it all the more impressive, right? What he's accomplished and what he's accomplished this late in his career.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to even forget him, even though he hasn't accomplished as much as some other AD carries in terms of Worlds and LCK. The guy is, the way he did it is what people will never forget.
Yeah, and also his attitude and how a lot of players have spoken about playing with Deft as well. You know, Carrier's been pretty outspoken. The two of them have remained pretty good friends after laning together on DRX and on, you know, just throughout the time, as Dundun taking a fair bit of damage. It does put his back towards the wall, but that lunge him out as he gets over the wall with his own Q dash. As Showmaker now could be in trouble. Fiesta coming on in. We'll need to get a few of these auto attacks down as the minions do some work, but not enough. And Fiesta gets a solo kill first blood
on Showmaker,
in mid lane.
On Showmaker. This is a huge turnaround for this player. This is the type of thing I'm talking about. You get those 2 kills on Deft, you're feeling yourself a little bit because you had a very rough week 1. You were criticizing your play significantly. Look at that smirk on his face. Like you see that, like, and you know, I just solo killed Showmaker. You know, you're doing it into the matchup of Sylas as well. A very risky matchup to make a play like that with all the minions. He does it just the same.
Oh, Canna almost took 2 turret shots there, as we are going to have a look at this replay once again.
Yeah, we don't respect top lane trades. We talk about this replay here as Showmaker actually dashes through, takes a few extra autos here, and Fiesta sees the opportunity. He's level 3, a level down. And Showmaker using his cooldowns means he just can't trade back. Has to flash away. Fiesta still takes him down. And it's going to be hard for him to wipe that smirk off his face.
Yeah.
It's going a lot better, obviously, for Nongshim this time around in terms of what the state of the game is as first Drake spawns. Because remember, last time we saw Canyon with the vision control he had in the threat. Oh, never mind.
Oh dear. Bubble is going to connect there onto Vital. He has to flash, and Deft immediately flashes after, and there's the revenge from game number 1 as now Peter is able to float away. But that is a very different look here in game number 2 than what we saw previously.
I don't even know if the barrier just came back up. I don't think it saves him, though, in that case, too. He's just too far forward, gets punished really hard. And this may lead to that early Drake take for Dplus Kia. It's like, yeah, it's looking much better for Nongshim this time around until this happens. He loses control of the lane. He's going to lose a few minions down there. Bottom side, Deft taking a 20 CS lead or so here. And
this went from, in the last game, being such an even matchup. So now Deft takes Ignite and is 25 CS up. Like, it is just not even a little bit close.
Yeah, and we've seen Canyon, you know, obviously not have a huge impact in this early game compared to the last, but Deft has essentially done this alone, right? We did see the attempt there earlier, but he's just got that 2v2 kill by himself. And Showmaker here in this lane, recovering very well. It's a very late first Drake take. Sylvie's going to start up by himself here in a bit of a lull state. And it will looks like he's going to just get away with it. No check here, no vision whatsoever. And this game, because of the late Drake take and the fact that it's going to Nongshim, really does favor the speed at which Nongshim are going to play this game at, because they're going to have this late game Zeri condition. They're going to have some Azir power later on in this game too. So this is actually pretty huge that this goes away for free.
And it's not going to be another Cloud Soul Wolf, which I'm a little bit sad about, but could be something else. Of course, Mountain Drake probably the most powerful option. Then it would also be Earth, Wind, and Fire, which we also very much like here at the LCK. As Callan clearing out some vision. And the bottom side vision for Nongshim has been a lot better this time, which is a little bit sad, as Tidal Wave is going to come through, catches Vital, and that means that it's another very dead Zeri.
No flash, just for a few more seconds. Last time Def got the 2v2 kill. There's no barrier. This time there's no flash. Tracking Summoner as well. Good angle on the Tidal Wave from Kellen, and the wave just, in order to get those
chains are going to come through here, as Canyon going to deliver some much needed money over to Showmaker. As Emperor's Divide is going to push Shelly back. Okay, let's see whether Fiesta can actually stop this charge from happening. There we go. There's the cease and desist. Emperor's Divide coming through from Showmaker, though, means that Sylvie takes so much damage. However, it's Canyon that goes down. And yes, they get the charge, but none of the money goes to Showmaker, and they'll pick up a kill. So nice work for Nongshim.
This is actually a huge turnaround for Nongshim here. This was beautifully played, and the boldness at which they actually send the Zeri mid to shut down a Herald play is so rare, actually, in pro play. We just don't normally see them from the game.
Yep.
Safety first.
Showmaker's just dancing around here. Emperor's Divide will mean that he's quite safe, and so therefore able to just clear out these minions very comfortably. Drake gets taken here by Canyon. Ocean Soul, so a very pretty rift, but not exactly the most valuable soul, as Showmaker going to have to abduct his way out. He is going to be able to do so, as Shirley up and available, and has been started here by Nongshim. Showmaker, the rest of Dplus here looking to try and stop it. Let's see whether the Emperor's Divide is going to be most powerful on the Nongshim side or on the Dplus Kia side. As in the meantime, Canna just taking down a turret towards that top side, does so very comfortably, as Canyon off to the side is going to make this a 50-50. Dangerous times, as there's the ultimate. It is going to be hit onto Dundun. There is Sylvie, has to flash his way out. Decent little Tidal Wave, and now Emperor's Divide has to be used, and Showmaker has to flash away. Vital wants to get over the wall, but may have overstepped there just a little bit, as the chains are going to slow him down for the moment. Extendo Beam isn't going to land.
Missing the ult really hurts there for Vital. Kana is going to try to turn this into a two-turret play. He won't be successful, but this is such a good macro read from Dplus. They know that Dundun's bottom side will have to TP in, so you get a teleport minimum with this contest. They also got Drake and Canyon.
Well, Canyon just going to get out of there. He's a very happy gentleman.
Is online. He's halfway there, but doesn't need it. And now they're actually going to have the Lucian gank.
Yeah. Here's the Lucian gank. And the ult's going to be stolen there to create as much space as possible. Dundun trying to fight it out, but he's just not going to be able to do it here. 1v1 with the Lucian. Might actually be successful. He flashes, and there's the culling just to confirm it. But Dundun made it a little bit closer than it would have otherwise been. Nongshim, on the other side of the map, will be able to push down this outer turret in the bottom lane. So there's at least that for the squad, as they set up for a potential Drake, their second of the game.
Yeah, it's not, no summoners blown for death in this fight. Like, doesn't lose his flash or anything like that. So, could have been worse. You know, he handled it very calmly, still gets the kill there despite Dundun making it tougher. But it could be worse.
As this game goes on, very close to that level 16 like you were talking about. Zhonya's is now complete as well.
He's just going for this tanky build with the Zhonya's, like you say, and he's just going to play a little bit more utility. Like, he's like, I am a tanky Azir because I could steal Fiesta's ult and then be impossible to kill and set it up whichever way I want. And this game is about death now. It's not about me. It's not about the 1-3-1 as much in this game state. It's about Fiora and a 1-4.
Well, he is going to dive on in here, looks for the Emperor's Divide, finds it onto 2. Sylvie, cease and desist into the backline, but I have a feeling he might need to take his own advice here, as Deft is going to help lock down that kill. Vital getting some autos in, but that is just a dead jungler, and there is just no way out here for Sylvie once he presses that button.
Exactly what I was talking about earlier. With this Vi, it's so awkward into this composition because there's so much lockdown, so much CC, and such a tanky front line that even if you ult the right target, they could just walk back with the insane speed that Deft has with his Gale Force and the dash.
Out of here, does so beautifully, and just everything. Almost got excited that he might be taken down. Wasn't to be the case, as Dundun just soaking damage over and over again here towards this bottom side. Is, if at first you don't succeed, ebb and flow. Ebb and going to pick up the kill. Oh dear. We thought that he'd escaped, but then Deft flashed on it.
Deft goes in, Deft goes out. You can't explain that. Oh boy. Well, see if he can pick up that third item. I think he's sitting on a ton of gold right now.
Is now being completed. Infinity Edge done for Deft. And so now fighting around this Baron is going to be a whole lot more comfortable. Plus, they're going to be aware of everything. This time, Nongshim will be able to at least take down the vision on the Baron, but they're going to start it up. Canyon over here. It's going to be 100% face up 50-50. But Fiesta has the ability to Emperor's Divide. Can he get the piggy out of the pit? Is going to be the question. The Glacial Prison comes forward. In goes Showmaker to find it. Emperor's Divide into 4 members. The secure of the Baron as well. Emperor's Divide from Fiesta is okay, but it's just nowhere near enough. And Showmaker sacrifices himself for the good of the colony. Fiesta's going to be taken down. Deft doesn't even need the double tap to make that one happen. And it's a triple kill for Canna in the end.
Yeah, this is basically game over now. There's not much you can do. Even a kill on a Canyon here is fairly insignificant. Removing a Baron buff would be nice.
Well, Deft is just going to come on forward and help Canyon take down Dundun.
Would have been
nice. It's going to happen. As Canna, back on his solo mission here. Look at this damage.
He's got
the hull breaker. Yeah,
he's got a hull breaker now.
I didn't know that turrets were just upended boats, because apparently he's breaking the hulls of turrets, and I didn't know they had hulls.
Yeah, it's also just Fiora being one of the most strong side laning champions in the game, and right now in the meta, absolutely the strongest, is kind of hilarious considering she's got a rapier, and she's just slapping turrets and, and like destroying them with it. It just doesn't make sense.
It's like, on guard, gentlemen turret.
This fight was a valiant attempt, I will say, for the side of Nongshim here. The sacrifice from Showmaker after
100 health on the Baron after Sylvie's smite too, which is a bit sad.
It's just desperation and a panic, and the tidal wave from Kellen to allow Showmaker to get into position so easily like that. It's just, we talk about this team and how they're just always
feels at this point in time. Is this turret going to be under fire? Fiesta, crown going to be broken. And Showmaker lying in wait, looking for that opportunity to hijack whatever he wants as he dives on forward. There's Fiesta dead, as Peter finds himself without anyone to attach to. Vital's going to come on over, so he does at least find a host, but it's just not going to quite be enough here, as Canna fighting against Dundun and the rest of Nongshim. And Showmaker tries to hit Canna with a chain lash. An interesting maneuver that you could make, as inhibitor going to be ignored here as Dplus gear look to just win the game by the looks of things.
Yep, just letting these minions come through now to be the front line. And I mean, every time Kana touches these turrets, they the red part disappears. Watch this.
Oh my goodness, just lunging them down over and over. Canyon standing in that front line. Vital does throw down the ultimate. Let's see whether they can get themselves a kill, as Canna going down very, very low and is going to be secured. But Dplus Kia, they can just shoot the Nexus if they would like to. They instead decide to back away. Kellen could be in trouble. Prowling projectile is good. Double kill for the Zeri. We may need some certification here, Wolf, as Showmaker is going to have to give himself up. He goes golden in the nick of time, as Fiesta doesn't quite find the angle that he was looking for. That's another kill for Vital. And so they have a naked Nexus, but they may have a small amount of hope.
It's a naked Nexus against a Fiora who has TP coming back online. I think this game might end soon.
Yeah, Emperor's Divide is going to come through. The stopwatch going to come down as well, but that's not going to do anything. So Deft locks up the kill onto the Azir. Thought the Emperor's Divide might have been enough to keep him alive, but it wasn't.
Kana has TP and there's items for Kana. It is.
And Deft as well. Very similar story. And that's largely, I mean, if we're going to bring this back to the overarching point, it's that Dplus here, they can rely on a lot of different people to carry. Last time around, it was, you know, Showmaker and Canyon doing a heck of a lot of work, right? Like Canna there as well having a great performance, but the bottom lane lags behind. This time around, it's Showmaker that's having a rough time, right? He was focused by Nongshim, but that doesn't matter either, because that allows Deft and Kellen to find those advantages, and they're the ones that now have almost an insurmountable lead.
The Silas in this game has just been, like I said, utility. He's an Azir ult, and he's a body. It almost feels like Dplus Kiev won a 4v5 game, and all Vital.
Oh dear, Vital going to get caught out of position. He does manage to dash, so doesn't get caught by the Emperor's Divide, as Canna looking for that flank angle. He's dashing towards the Nexus, and they have to stop him because he can just win the game by himself. Showmaker going to go golden. Emperor's Divide doesn't find the value that they're looking for here, as Deft, I don't know what that was, but the game's over and Dplus Kia win.
Another 2-0 here for Dplus Kia. We saw in game one, a nice flex draft where they were able to put the Jace mid to great success, one of Showmaker's old favorites. They won't let him play the Kassadin that he loves to play so much, but